What is up, guys? It is JRob, yours truly, in the building. We are getting ready to pack it up and head up north to the frigid climates for this week's Northern Open Tournament. As usual, our buddies over at Playdemic like to mix in a few different courses here within the open selection type tournaments, so we will be playing the Maple Bay and Nordic Fords courses here. We're going to be talking about all divisions in the video, so please pay close attention to which scenario best suits your style of play. So with that being said here, before we jump over to the first hole, I just wanted to give an absolute huge thank you to all of my supporters out there for hitting our 600 subscriber milestone, and definitely pay attention here to all of the ideas here that we have in store that we're doing. We have a lot of big ideas coming that we really want to pull through here for the YouTube channel. We want to eventually get to the point where we can do a giveaway once a week here for a lot of you guys that are subscribed, that will help you in the tournaments here and getting some chests here and even some new balls each week. So definitely pay attention to a lot of these things that are coming up and ideas that we have for the channel. You know, they'll kind of be sneak peeked here within a lot of the videos and content that we're posting. Once we do hit 1,000 subscribers, we are giving away a $30 gift card to help up your guys' game out there on the course. So if you guys haven't already, please hit that subscribe button to the YouTube channel. It's free, and we make lots of content and guides, you know, to help you all do the absolute best you can out there. And it does take a lot of time and effort, so to see some support from you subscribers and our family in this community of people that we are building, it really does mean a lot, and it makes it pay off for sure. So thank you guys so much here, and we are going to jump over to the first hole. Let's get on to it. Alright guys, what is up? It is JRobGC here from Team NrG, and we are about to be going over the Northern Open Tournament guide. So, I hope you guys have been doing awesome, you know, as good as you guys can out here with all the crazy things that are going on in the world nowadays. But it's definitely nice to be able to sit back and relax and play some golf clash and just kind of, you know, forget about things for a while and let your cares kind of wash away. But we have hole number 1 here, par 4 for Maple Bay and the Nordic Ford courses that we are going to be playing here in the Northern Open. So Maple Bay here, hole number 1 for rookie division here. How we're going to play this here is going to be the blue arrowed approach. You're going to want to play it with 1 bar of backspin here and max right side spin for whatever ball that you are using. I would recommend using a katana ball here for this hole. If you're going to play this for pro or expert or master here, I would recommend at least a power 3 ball here, but you can definitely get by for rookie division here with a power 2 ball or a power 1. But basically, yeah, just 1 bar of backspin here and lay it up down there at the end of that right side fairway and set yourself up for a really nice second shot here, about 3/4 club of your short iron for your second shot. And it's definitely a nice first hole to snag that eagle here and get an extra stroke right off the bat. So 0% elevation here on our second shot. And like I said here in the intro video, I definitely would watch my guides here in full screen so you guys get the best experience and can really see everything that, like I'm talking about here. But here, if we're playing this in pro or expert here, we're going to end up actually going with a bar here or 2 bars of top spin and 2 to 3 bars of right side spin and just a little bit of curl. I'd say about half a ball to a ball of curl here to the right to get your ball as far down there, down that right hand side fairway as we possibly can here on the pro or expert or masters division. Masters is going to be a little bit tougher here. You might end up having to play it with a 3 to 4 bars of backspin here or play the left hand side The left-hand side here is probably going to be what's played in Master or Expert divisions. Left-hand side approach is also played here with a 10% for Master, and we're basically just playing it with 4, 5, 6 bars of topspin, depending on how far your distance is down here on the left-hand side approach from where that red dot is. But just get your ball down that left-hand side fairway as far as you can, so you have the straightest shot to the pin as you possibly can here for our second shot. Because if not, we will end up having to use just a little bit of curl potentially here for a second shot. But if we get it down there far enough, we'll end up with a pretty straightaway shot here that will be able to potentially get in the pin here with the sniper. So definitely pay in mind for that. But that's pretty much going to wrap up hole number 1 for pro and expert divisions here. It's pretty much going to be played either one of two of those ways here, because depending on the wind that we have, you're going to basically choose, pick and choose here which side that you're going to play. If we have a kind of a nasty headwind, I definitely would not go to the right-hand side. But if we have anything but a headwind, like a crosswind or a tailwind here, either way, I would definitely go for the right-hand side. But the only way other than in expert or master that I would go to the left-hand side here would be if we had a headwind. So that's going to be the wrap up here for hole number 1, par 4, Maple Bay, and we're going to move on to hole number 2. Alrighty guys, so we have hole number 2 here, our first par 3 here for Maple Bay in the Northern Open. So for Rookies Division here, we're going to play this with 0% elevation. And our best option here, in my opinion, is to either play the rough bump, yellow approach, or to play the blue arrowed approach here to the left. You can actually play this here with about 2 bars of backspin and 3 bars right side spin and just a little bit of curl, about a ball or so curl, maybe a little bit more than a ball here, because I recommend about a ball of curl as about 20%. So if you can move your ball from one edge to the other about 5 times over, you'd be at 100% curl. So if you guys want to, sometime definitely check that out, because it definitely is a really nice way to judge your curl, and that is how I do it. But using that curl, we can also go from the right-hand side here to the green arrowed approach, and what we can do here is use our curl to the left with about 4 to 5 bars of backspin here. And I would recommend a katana ball here for rookie division, and pro and expert, definitely a katana ball would fit too, especially with the 3 bars side spin. So I would use those 3 bars of left side spin and about 4 to 5 bars of backspin, depending on how far up from that red dot on the right hand side that you do put your target. It is a sloped fairway from the right to the left here, so what you're going to want to do is basically bounce your ball off of that angled fairway to the left of that bunker, on that long bunker on the right, and curl your ball in and around the green and funnel it down right in towards the pin and try to get it to go in. It's a little bit of a guesstimate shot here, but one that's not a really give me par 3 here, so it's going to be a fun one. So for pro division here, it's going to be played about max distance with our sniper here, or is going to be played with our driver. I would recommend either the quarterback, especially if you go for the rough bump approach that is 2 bars backspin. You can use a bar of left spin or right side spin depending on where you put your target, to the left or to the right, but I would just recommend going straight at the pin here. And that's a 10% elevation off of your tee box here for pro and expert, and also masters divisions. Master division and expert division here are also going to be strictly played with your driver, basically. I wouldn't recommend pulling it back and going as far as using your wood club unless you had something like the big dog here and could bounce it off of the right side and kind of use that maybe 2 to 3 bar approach and curl it in there to the left. or you could use the blue arrowed approach, maybe with a big dog here in a higher level ball or higher powered ball. But I would recommend just playing it with your driver, like the quarterback or the rock here, that has a decent ball guide, but also has a decent amount of backspin here, so we can curl it around on the right-hand side. You will see some people definitely going for the rough bump approach. If you do feel that you are comfortable doing that, I would recommend it, because that obviously is the best chance at a hole-in-one here. But the left blue arrowed approach here is it is a good approach, but it is probably one that you won't see as many people using. So that's pretty much going to be the wrap up here for hole number 2. The only difference here from expert and master here is expert. You're probably going to be playing at about mid to max distance of your club, and master is going to be played at a more about max distance here. So that's pretty much the wrap up here for hole number 2, and we're going to move on to hole number 3. Okay, guys, so moving on to hole number 3 here, we have our first par 5 here of Nordic Ford's course. What we're going to do here for the rookie division, our best way to play this one here is the red arrowed approach here to the right. It's going to be a little bit of tricky shot for some of you probably, but what we're going to do here is play this with about 4 to 5 bars of topspin here. Depending on how much the topspin that you guys have for your extra mile here, or maybe the rock, or a club, whatever your driver is here. But I would recommend at least using a katana ball, or a quasar ball here. A Titan ball would actually be a very good fit as well, because you have that power and at least 2 bars of side spin here. I would go at least 2 bars of side spin. You can do 3 and just a little bit less curl here, but what we're going to do is bounce our ball off of that middle long stretch of fairway over to the right hand side little curled fairway there on the right, and get it as far down towards the top as we can near that red dot, so we can set ourselves up for a nice second shot here, either with the big dog, or our guardian, a sniper here with a higher powered ball, at least a power 3 ball here if we're going to reach. If not, you're going to be bouncing off of that island over towards the pin, and the bunker will be more in play here. But what we're going to do off of our tee box here is at least play this with a 5% elevation for rookie division. For pro here, what we're going to do is, you can also play this here from the red arrow approach, but it's going to be a little bit of a trickier shot here. You're going to want to play this with at least side spin 3 ball, so you have those 3 bars, and at least probably a kingmaker here, so we have that distance and side spin. You can use a higher powered ball if you have it, but basically curl yourself around there with about 15 to 20% curl here, about a ball's worth of curl and the 3 side spin, and get yourself about 5-6 bars of topspin down that right hand side fairway. And I would recommend probably using the big dog here on this course, because it is a long stretch up there. In pro division and expert division, as well as master, will be played with a 10% elevation adjustment here off of the tee box. So for expert and master here, you're going to see a lot of people probably playing it down the left-hand stretch here, or possibly playing it off of the middle fairway, because the middle fairway, there's actually another option here where you can play it from the middle fairway straight down the center there. You can get it down there as far as you can, and then you'll actually be able to go straight towards the red arrowed approach here and bounce it off that little island fairway before we get to the green, and it'll bounce over and around that bunker and in towards the pin there. So they will be able to actually get the eagle here, or potentially a lucky albatross. So you're going to see some people playing it that way here in the expert and masters division. You're going to want to use quite a bit of topspin, about 4 to 5 bars at least here, full topspin down the middle stretch there. So get your ball as far as you can down that center fairway and launch it off of that island fairway over there to the right towards the pin, and either chip your ball in here for the eagle or put it in off the green. So pro and expert here is going to be a little bit simpler, especially rookie, and master is going to be definitely a lot more of a challenge here, like it should be. So this is definitely a hole that resembles that. So it's going to be a little bit of a tricky par 5. You will see some people mess up and go in the water and get mad, but you know, just keep calm and do your best here, and you know, really focus in and remember that 10% or that 5% elevation that you have to adjust for so you don't find yourself in the water. Good luck, guys. Okay, so moving on to hole number 4 here, we have another par 4. This is actually a really neat hole, and you have to have a pretty precise shot here. For rookie division here off the tee box, we're going to play this with a 5% elevation adjustment. What our best shot here is to use at least a power 3 ball here and play the blue arrowed approach or the green arrowed approach here. The green arrowed approach, in my opinion, is a little bit of a safer shot, especially if we have a decent wind here, you know, like an angled crosswind kind of tailwind here going forward, or you know, a straight tailwind here is nice. But what we can do is bounce it off of that right little circled fairway with about, you know, full topspin here, and get it to bounce off of that right side fairway. You can use a couple bars of left side spin here and angle just a little bit of curl here, like just like a little bit, like a quarter of a ball, like 5 to 10%, like just angle it here and get it to where it will bounce off the right hand side fairway, then onto the fairway that the green is on, right in front of that bunker where that red dot is, and it will bounce over that bunker and roll straight down towards the green, and actually land itself onto the green if it is rolling fast enough. So you can actually drive the green on this hole. So you could even see somebody hit a hole in one here. What you're going to do here, if you do play the red arrow approach, if you don't feel comfortable taking either of those shots here that are more aggressive straight towards the green here, you can play it with the red arrow approach and bounce it with about 4 to 5 bars of topspin and a couple bars of left side spin down that left island fairway, and you can shoot it over with your short iron here to the pin with a 5% elevation on your second hand shot here, and you're going to be about at about you know, max distance with your short iron. So that's a pretty simple shot there, but definitely driving the green is the more aggressive, you know, good chance at the eagle here. But if you feel comfortable chipping it in, definitely go that route. But the blue arrowed approach here is basically played the opposite way here of the green arrow approach. What you're going to do is play it with a bar or two of, you know, 2 to 3 bars here actually of right side spin, and just that slight curl, and it's basically going to bounce off of the left hand side fairway and over and behind that bunker, and then over the bunker and roll onto the green, just kind of opposite of how the right hand side did. For pro and expert here off the tee box, we're going to play this with a 10% elevation, as well as master is going to be played with 10% as well. Basically, for pro and expert, you can also do both of those approaches with the blue and the green, but you will at least have to use a power 3 ball here and some overpower. And we should definitely not try this if we have a headwind, because we'll probably end up either in the water or that bunker right before the green. So master division, you will see some people just playing the left hand side approach for master and expert, but they will also be able to drive the green, especially if they have some higher powered balls here, such as a power 4 or a 5. So that's pretty much going to be the wrap up here for hole number 4, par 4. Moving on to hole number 5. So we have another Nordic Ford holes here for hole number 5, par 3. So basically what we're going to do here for Rookie Division, this is going to be played here with our sniper is recommended here, but you can also play this with another wood club. It will be played about mid-distance, but where you're going to want to play it is about right where that red dot there, where that little S bunker is at the end of the first green arrow there. You're going to want to play it right about where that red dot is. And we're going to use 1 bar to 1.5 bars of topspin here, and you can potentially use a bar of right side spin or so, depending on where your target is, how far it is left or right of that bunker, and how close you really want to be there. But basically get yourself a straight line there to where your ball guide is going to roll right into the pin, but where your ball guide kind of disappears, like as you pull it back before it hits that hole. So for pro and expert here, this is going to actually be played with a 20% elevation instead of rookie being a 10% elevation here off of the drive. So master as well will be played with a 20% elevation off of the tee box. So for expert and master here, we're going to play this with either the quarterback or the rock here, and it's going to be played with about 2 to 3 bars of backspin here, and it's going to be right about where the P is in the pro there on the screen, right before the end of that red arrow. So about the middle of that fairway, and you can use about a bar or so of right side spin to get it to really, bend itself into the hole and find that funnel there. But that's pretty much how this one is going to be played. You can pull it back and really use the ball guide and use maybe a bar or 2 bars of backspin here. That will work as well. Or you could also potentially pull it back as far as using your wood club. So basically, pro is going to be played the same way, but about mid-level distance of your quarterback here, or you can play it with max distance on your sniper as well. So just make sure that we have like maybe a little bit of a wind resistance ball here, like a power 3 Kingmaker here with power 3 wind resistance, or at least a Katana, something with a little bit of wind resistance, power 2. So that's pretty much going to be the wrap up for this par 3 on hole number 5. Good luck out there. Moving on to hole number 6 here, we have another par 5 here in the Northern Open tournament. So what we're going to do here for Rookie Division here is play this with just a 5% elevation adjustment. And our best way to play this here is either from the left-hand side or the right-hand side is pretty much, a decent way of playing it as well, as long as it's a little bit more tricky. So our left-hand side approach is definitely the more simple way, but I would recommend at least a power 3 ball like a Kingmaker here, especially for our second shot. It's going to be nice to have the side spin, but I would recommend using a big dog as well. So what we're going to do is basically use full top spin and basically just launch it straight down that left-hand side and get it onto where it either clips that rough or goes over and bounces onto that second fairway there, that little circle fairway to the left, and gets down there as far as you can. So you have a nice second shot here with your big dog, or another longer distance wood here. You can use the sniper if you do have a higher powered ball here, but I wouldn't recommend using the sniper if you don't at least have a power 3. So what we're going to do here is on the second shot use about a bar of backspin here and 3 bars of left spin, and that's where our Kingmaker or Katana comes in here. But I would not use a Katana unless I had at least a big dog here. So what we're going to do is use about a little bit more than a ball of curl, about 25% curl here. So what we do is just curl it around here to the left and try to dive it in there, bouncing it off of that little zigzag fairway at the end of those arrows, the blue and the green there where that red dot is, and get it to bounce over that patch of rough and onto that fairway and roll down and catch the funnel of the green and potentially go into the pin for the albatross. Or, end yourself very close and either chip it in or putt it in for the eagle. So here for a pro and expert, what we're going to do, you can play the left-hand side approach that we just talked about, but the blue arrowed approach here as well for pro and expert is going to be played with a 10% elevation adjustment as well as master here. If you do find yourself a little bit over, you can play this here with 15 to 20% actually in master's division and expert, but what we're going to do is curl it around here with about 50% curl and full topspin and max right side spin here with at least a power 3 and get it to bend and bounce right about in the middle of that bunker there on the right hand side of that fairway and bounce down that right hand side panhandle of that little Y fairway that we have here. And then our second shot here is going to be played with the big dog or another longer distance wood here again, so that we can have a pretty straight shot here to the pin actually. If we do play this with a higher powered ball, it might be a good idea here, especially with our ball guide, to play this with a sniper. That would be our best chance here at the albatross, and you will see some people making that shot. But Masters Division, it's definitely going to be a little bit trickier to play the left-hand side, so you're probably going to be finding yourself in pro, expert, and master here playing the right-hand side here. So definitely dial in that drive to where you have your curl right and you don't roll to the right off of the fairway and onto the rough or the bunker down there, and you don't curl it enough to where you end up in the middle of that Y in the rough or the bunker there. So definitely dial that in so we can get it about 50% curl and get it down that fairway. So that's pretty much going to be the wrap up here for hole number 6, par 5, and we're going to move on to hole number 7. Alright guys, so we have hole number 7 here, another par 4. So this is a Nordic Fords course here. What we're going to do here for rookie division off the tee box is a 5% elevation adjustment. So we can actually drive the green on this if we have enough topspin, or we're going to end up about where the second green arrow approach is there, above the 10%, minus 10% there on the second shot. So what we're going to do is bounce off of that second patch, that second little S fairway there, and we're going to max right side spin and max top spin, and we're going to bounce with about 25%, about a little bit more than a ball of curl here to the right, 20 to 25% here, and get it either down to bounce off of that middle fairway and down that right hand side, or get it down the left hand side, or to bounce right where the yellow arrow is over that rough patch and down towards the green. You can actually get it, I've actually done this where you can bounce it off of the green straight towards that rock, and it will bounce right off of that rock where that yellow arrow is and give it more topspin and more speed to bounce over all of that fairway down there and land itself onto the green, and it actually won't go fast enough to go over the rough with the full topspin here. So if we play this with like the big topper or something like that, just I wouldn't recommend using full topspin with the big topper here, but definitely like the extra mile would be okay at about level 8. Level 9 I wouldn't go all the way, but pro and expert here can be played that same way, but you're going to have a higher powered ball for sure, but and some very high level clubs, but hopefully you have high level clubs if you're playing an expert or master, but you will see a lot of the guys here in pro and expert and master divisions here playing with this the red arrowed approach here, and for those divisions it's going to be played with a 10% elevation adjustment here. So basically bounce it off of the first fairway straight down the second fairway there and get it as far down as you can, because we're going to have a nice sniper shot here to the pin, and that's going to be played with a minus 10% on our second shot here. No matter if you have the green arrow approach here over to the right, if you do play the second fairway bounce over shot, it's going to be played with minus 10%. That shot's going to be played with your thorn or the hornet here with the green arrow approach, and the red arrow approach, like I said, for our second shot is going to be played with the sniper here. For pro and expert, I would just recommend the extra mile or the apocalypse here, especially in master. Definitely use your best driver that you have with enough topspin to get you down that second fairway, or if you have something with enough distance and a higher powered ball to get you over to that second fairway so you can make it to the third over to the green. So that's pretty much going to be the wrap up again here for hole number 7. Par 4, and we're going to move over to hole number 8. Okay, so we have hole number 8 here, par 3. This is one of our last Maple Bay courses here. We have 2 more left. What we're going to do here for rookie division, off the tee box here, we're going to play this with a 0% elevation adjustment. And what we can do is play it one of 2 different ways here. For rookie division, we're going to play this with our long iron. Or you can actually play it with a wood club. If you do, I would recommend a higher level sniper, but you're going to want to play it to the right hand side if you do play it with a wood club and a lot of backspin. I would recommend full backspin if you're just going to lay it up on the green here, especially with the Guardian. But if you definitely, if you do feel comfortable taking the right or the left hand approach, I would definitely recommend it because it is, your best chance here at a hole in one. So what we're going to do here is play this with 2 to 3 bars of backspin depending on the wind that we get. If we do have a headwind, you're going to want to play it with about 2 bars of backspin. If we have a tailwind, and it's really pushing you forward, we're going to want to play it with about 3 bars of backspin. If we have a crosswind, it's about 2.5. We're right about in the middle. So, and we're going to want to play it with a katana ball here, I would recommend, because we have 3 bars of right side spin, and we're going to bounce it off of that little hook on the left here, fairway, beside that bunker. It is a sloped fairway there on that little hook from left to right. It is as high on the left and low on the right hand side, so it will bounce on the left and go right. So it's going to bounce there and dive in towards the pin here with a little bit of help from our side spin to the right here, guiding it towards the pin. So we're going to leave our ball guide just shy of the pin here with 2 to 3 bars of backspin and 3 bars right side spin. You can use just a smidge of curl here to help dive it in if you need to, but depending on your shot here, it's going to be very close. So just dial that in and really critique it as you shoot your ball here. So for pro and expert here, we're going to play this with 5% elevation off of our tee box here. We can play this here to the right hand side with our blue arrowed approach. And what we're going to do is play this with our sniper, our wood club here. And we're going to basically play it with about 3 to 4, maybe 5 bars of backspin again here, depending on our wind. Same scenario here as the left hand side as we just discussed. But for this right side approach here for rookie is going to be played with a long iron as well here, and it's just going to be the opposite approach with 2 to 3 bars of backspin and left side spin towards the pin. But for pro and expert here, sniper to the right hand side, 4 to 5 bars of backspin, 3 bars of left side spin here, and about 1.5 balls of curl, so about 25% or so. So it dives itself in towards that pin and really gets around that rough corner there towards the pin. So expert and masters division here is going to be played with a 5 or a 10% elevation adjustment here, and we can actually play this with a quarterback or our sniper here at max distance with a kingmaker ball or something like that. A katana would probably work here if you're using your quarterback. There is a rough bump approach here that is to the left of that blue arrow, right at the end of that bunker, to the right of that bunker, that you can use about 2 to 3 bars of backspin here with your quarterback and get it right into the pin and make your elevation adjustment here. For master, about 10%, and for expert, about 5% here. So good luck on this par 3, guys, and that's the end of hole number 8. Okay, guys, so this is our last hole here for hole number 9. This is our last par 5 that we do have. We can play this one of 2 different ways, but the best way to play this here is definitely the blue arrowed approach here to the right-hand side. So for a rookie division here, we're going to play this with a 0% elevation adjustment. We're just going to basically bomb our ball down the right-hand side fairway as far as we can. We're going to get it down there as far towards that second red dot down that fairway as we can to set ourselves up for a really nice second shot here. You can use, about 1 to 2 bars of left side spin here, so we get it curled down that fairway, because it is a little bit of a an elevated kind of fairway. It has some hills on it. It's an up and down kind of little roller coaster fairway there. So we're going to want to make sure that our ball stays on the fairway. So our second shot here is going to clip the rough here, just like it says on the screen. It is not going to clip the rough right off of our very first shot here, but what we're going to do is basically place it up on that little hook there in front of the green. That's about where our max distance of club is going to be. The big dog would be a big help here. We're going to need a club that has definitely our most distance, and at least a power 3 ball here. I would recommend a Kingmaker at least for this hole. And what we're going to do here is we're going to gauge our top spin here, about 2 to 5 bars of top spin and 1 to 2 bars of left side spin here if you want, because what we're going to do is bounce off of that little hook fairway where that red dot is at the end of the blue arrow, and we're going to hit right in that fairway and bounce over the water there in the bunker. And we're just going to clip that rough there like it says, and we're going to roll out into the fairway and onto the green there. So it's a little bit of a tricky shot. This is probably one of the more trickier par 5s that we do have here for Maple Bay. But what we're going to do if we play the green arrow approach here is just bomb our ball down the left-hand side again here, and basically play it with the big dog or whatever club that you have that has the most top spin, and overpower your shot to where you bounce off of that left-hand side fairway and possibly clip the rough and roll out into the fairway so you can chip your ball in there and get the eagle. But if you do go from the left-hand side, you're basically giving up the opportunity of getting the albatross, even though this hole is a very tough hole to get the albatross. But this hole here for Masters Division is going to be played with a 5 to 10% here, and I also forgot to mention here that our second shot here for the blue arrow and the green arrow is going to be played with a 5% elevation adjustment on the second shot as well. But for rookie division here, I would definitely go with the blue arrow approach like we just discussed, and also with pro and expert here. It's probably the best decision, as well as Masters, because this is the best option to play this hole here. So expert and Masters is going to use at least 6 to 7 bars here at topspin down that right hand side, and I recommend the big dog or the Cataclysm here. You can always put on the Amazon or something like that if you do happen to make it into the rough, to hit it a little bit farther. You probably won't be able to make it over the water there, but if you can, with a higher powered ball, it's definitely an advantage. But, you can play it down the left-hand side and curl it around and try to make it on the fairway there where the green is. But, with quite a bit of topspin. But that's pretty much going to be the wrap-up here for hole number 9 and the end of our Northern Open guide here that we do have this week here that Plandemic has launched. So thank you guys so much for being here and watching my guides. I really hope that they're helping you and you guys are really understanding here in the text guides that what we are talking about and what we're discussing here. So thank you guys so much for all of the support. Like, seriously, you guys are so awesome. Like, I could not thank you guys enough. Like, I love our team, you know, and the family of people that we are growing here. And it's just an awesome atmosphere. You know, I really want to get to a good place here that, for this community of people that I'm building here, and I'm excited to see where that goes. And I have a lot of big ideas here in store for what we're going to do here for the YouTube channel. So, you know, just a little bit of inspiration here for, you know, some of you guys that, you know, are kind of on the edge here, subscribing. You know, we have a lot of big ideas here that we're going to be going through with on the YouTube channel and streams here that we're going to be doing in the future, and a lot of giveaways here that we are thinking about doing. I would like to get to a point here that we could actually get a giveaway every single week so that we can help one of you guys, you know, at least each week get, you know, some of the chests here for the new tournament deals and some new balls here for each week to kind of help up your guys' game out there in the course. So thank you guys so much, and I just want you guys to know I appreciate it, and you know, I plan on giving back and doing what I can to help you guys. So, in my appreciation. So, thank you guys a lot. JRob from Team NrG, out. Good luck this week, guys. Take her easy.